Hello, clever people, and welcome to my non-spoiler review for Avengers Endgame. So, Avengers Endgame is probably my most anticipated movie since Star Wars The Force Awakens back in 2015, and it follows the story of the Avengers after Thanos has devastated half of the universe. He has wiped them out. There are only half of life in the universe left, and it's about the people who are left behind and their plot to try to bring everybody back. That's all I'll say about the plot, because that's basically what you knew going in, because the actual plot of this movie was not said in the trailers. It was not said anywhere, and if I said it, somebody would yell at me for spoiling it. So Endgame is a very, very hard movie to talk about without spoiling, and I will be doing a spoilers-heavy review later, but for now I'm doing no spoilers. I will not give anything away. Do not worry. Just don't look in the comments, because I don't know if there will be some person that thinks they're being hilarious and they want to comment spoilers. If you don't, you should be fine. I will just talk about some of my general ideas about the movie. So Endgame, like I said, was probably my most anticipated movie since The Force Awakens back in 2015. I was freaking out about this movie ever since Infinity War came out. I was so excited to see it. I actually reviewed every other MCU movie leading up to this, so I was so hyped. Having seen every other movie, I felt like I was really well prepared for what I was about to see, and I was. Avengers Endgame is the perfect conclusion, and when I say perfect, I mean perfect conclusion to a 22 film saga. That's what I would call this, because in 11 years they made 22 movies that all revolved around the same thing: the Infinity Stones, the Infinity Gauntlet, and Thanos' plot to get all of them and snap his fingers and wipe out half of the universe. He did so, and this film follows their heroes honestly when they're in tragedy, when they're dealing with the fact that the people that they love are gone. And seeing that is heartbreaking, and what's so special is that every single character reacts to it differently, and they react to it in the way that you feel their actual character would react to it. And that's really special when a film understands its characters so well, and especially when directors who have not dealt with these characters before are now dealing with them, and they deal with them and understand them so well. It's honestly just kind of very special and something that people just take for granted. Honestly, I feel like this whole MCU thing people take for granted, because think about it. Trying to tie together 22 movies, trying to hint at every single movie something that ends up leading up to this. After you watch this, you'll look back and realize the planning of every movie, where they put every movie to come out. It all makes sense, it all adds up, and it's just really impressive to see. But beyond that, Endgame is honestly just an incredible achievement in cinema. Tonally and structurally and everything, it does so well. My only problems with the movie have to do with one character and his development, and there are a few plot holes here and there, but in terms of actual filmmaking, in terms of getting emotion from people, and in terms of structure, they did just enough to fulfill expectations, but just enough to exceed expectations and do the unpredictable. They knew exactly what they needed to do, and they knew exactly which moments would land in which places. Honestly, this movie, it doesn't feel calculated, but the way that it's put together and the way that everything lines up where it should be, it's amazing that it doesn't feel calculated. It feels like a natural movie. It feels like natural emotion on screen, and it's incredible to see. And the dynamic of the team, the dynamic of everybody, and everybody's character feels so alive and fresh at this point. They all feel so tangible, and because of that, their emotion lands so well. I also have to say that the comedy in this movie was something I was worried about, because I knew it was going to be somber, I knew it was going to be sad, but they did the comedy in this film the way that they should have done the comedy. I was really happy about the way that they put in jokes at certain places, at certain times that worked. And even if the joke didn't land, it did not distract from the rest of the movie. It did not take you out of this harsh, brutal tone that they put you in. They found a way to implement both of them And it's honestly just it's wonderful. I have a lot to say about Endgame, and all of what I'm saying is very broad in general, and I'm not trying to get into any specifics because I'm worried that if I do, something will slip out of me. So this review probably sounds like me just saying a whole lot of nothing, but trust me, I do have a lot to say about this movie. You just can't say it. You really can't without delving into spoilers, because there are spoilers that happen 10 minutes into this movie. And when something like that happens, you can't talk about the movie normally. It's really difficult to, but what I can say is that this film is a success. The acting is incredible. The way that it ties up everything perfectly is incredible. It will make you cry tears of joy. It will make you cry tears of sadness. It will give you every single emotion that you go in wanting and more. It is exactly what I wanted without knowing that it was exactly what I wanted. The Russo brothers, congratulations. Thank you so much for understanding the difference between just pure fan service that doesn't serve anybody else and fan service that can also serve the audience. That's what I find most impressive about this movie. This movie is 90% fan service, but that doesn't mean that you have to be a Marvel fan to enjoy it. If you're not a Marvel fan, if you're just a moviegoer who wants to see an entertaining movie, you'll get that. But if you are a fan of these films, you will get something much deeper and much more emotional. And I am so happy that these two brothers, the Russo brothers, understood what this movie needed and defied what everybody else said that it needed and gave us a conclusion beyond satisfaction. I will give Avengers Endgame a 9.5 out of 10. Alright, so that was the end of my very broad general review. I will have a spoiler review probably up next weekend, but for now, what are your thoughts on Avengers Endgame, and how did you think it concluded the franchise? Comment in the comment section below and let me know. I'm Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.